Welcome to my new video. Today we're going to be looking at what drone is best for newbies. The question of the best drone for newbies comes up all the time, and you get many answers to that. And really, it's not an answer that you need, it's more questions. And these are the questions you need to ask yourself or the person who wants the drone to work out which drone is best for you. I'm in the UK, but these things really are good wherever you are in the world. And here are the top 10 questions you need really to ask yourself or the person wanting the drone. Just quickly, I do videos about drones and about helping you understand the rules, about helping you fly more places, about getting the best from your drone. And if this is the sort of thing that you like, if you're into drones, then maybe consider liking the video, maybe consider commenting about your opinion on what I'm going to say. And if you really like it, maybe hit the subscribe button. Or if you're not the person that's really interested in drones, maybe forward this channel to them. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you. So as all the best YouTubers say, let's get into it. Right, first question really is, how old is the person who wants this drone? Are they 7 years old? Are they 35 years old? I mean, drones appeal to many people, but drones are not always the same. And this is what we're gonna get into. So that's the first question, how old are they? Which really leads into the second question really is, what do they want to do with it? Are they a photographer? Do they love taking landscapes? Do they love taking pictures of buildings? Do they want to put a set of goggles on and they want to fly around and race other drone users? Or do they want to literally just fly it like they're flying a plane, which is FPV? And that's really another big question. What do they want to use it for? Because drones are not all the same. You get obviously toy drones, you get FPV drones, you get cinematic drones. Very different. And once you can identify that, then you can maybe think about which drone in that group of drones is going to be best. Does the person wanting the drone know what they want? Is there a particular model they want? Is there a particular brand they want? So that also is useful information to know. This sometimes is based on their research, it's sometimes based on a friend, what they've had, but really what they want to what they need it for might be two different things. So this is a bit boring but vital. So you need to look at the rules and regulations in your country. Now, I'll put a link to the CAA website in the description below, which is where I am. I'm in the UK. But look at your national regulator and see what the regulations are for drones. Now, this is really very important because if you want to take pictures, for instance, in the city and you buy a Mavic 3, let's say, then you might have to do some additional training before you can fly that in the city. You might be better off with a smaller drone, for instance, in the city, where in the UK we have, at the moment, we have some really good permissions for sub 250 gram drones. Now, this is different right across the world, so you need to check with your local regulator. If you're planning on buying something cheap to learn to fly on, really don't bother. The only exception to this is probably like a tiny little FPV drone that you can fly in the house. That's probably the only cheap drone I would buy. Maybe you could buy that as a kit with some goggles, a controller and the little drone. So that's probably the only time I would buy something cheap to practice on. The rest of the time, it's really not worth it. With cinematic drones, with DJI stuff, they pretty much fly themselves. I did a video recently with my wife who flew a DJI Mini 2, and she flew it for the first time, and she was kind of surprised that really they almost fly themselves. I'll put the link for that in the description. But in short, don't buy a drone to practice on because you'll be wasting your money. If you've narrowed down your search, then you might be watching review videos on YouTube, for instance. They can be really useful, but bear in mind that they might be being paid for this video. Also bear in mind that this video might be 3 or 4 years old. If you're watching a video about the DJI Spark, the reviewer tells you it's the most amazing drone they've ever used, which is actually what I watched back when I bought my Air 2. I didn't realise at the time that the DJI Spark was like 2 generations really out of date. Check on the date of which the video was recorded and check what's out now, because it may be that the video you've watched is old. Right, we're to number 7, I think. So second hand. Now you can get some amazing stuff actually second hand. Right now we're in 2023 and people are asking this question all over, and there's some great deals on like Mini 1s, Mini 2s, and you can just save yourself so much money. But I will say actually watch out for scams. If you're buying a drone second hand, don't pay for it before you've received it. The best way to buy a second-hand drone is to go face to face, look at the drone, test fly, or at least see it being flown. Make sure it's unregistered from somebody's DJI account so you can register it to your account. And that is the best way to buy a second-hand drone. Don't buy one on Facebook Marketplace where someone says, you send me the money, I'll send it to you. Don't do that, and don't pay through PayPal, friends and family, because you have no buyer protection if you are going to buy at distance. I certainly wouldn't recommend it. Whenever I've sold drones, I've done it face to face because it's just the most straightforward way. You see so many stories of people who've lost money paying for second-hand drones. Often they're too good to be true or look too good to be true, and that's because they are too good to be true. You're being scammed. Watch out. Buyer beware, as they say. How much money do you want to spend? Now, if this is for a present for somebody else, you might have a limited budget. If you can't buy the drone that they want, it might be better to give them the money or club together with a couple other members of the family so you can buy the drone they want. If it's for yourself, then maybe you want to save up a bit more. Maybe you have to make a decision whether it's really important you have a micro 4/3 sensor rather than the 1-inch sensor on the Mavic Air 2S maybe. Is it vital that you've got that extra feature, that follow me mode or whatever? That's really a decision for you to make. Often people's budget doesn't come to the actual money that the drone will cost. We're now towards number 9, so manage your expectations. If you're spending £50 on a drone, don't expect very much. To be honest, for £50, you'll be lucky to get a drone that actually comes back to you. So manage your expectations. If you want to take some amazing pictures, for that sort of money, you're not going to get anything like that. So just quickly, before we get to the top one, I'm going to give you a special mention to next year's drone. Next year's drone is always coming. And, you know, for instance, the current drone is the Mini 3 Pro. This is probably the best little drone right now, but this is in 2023. There'll be a Mini 4 next. Is it worth waiting for? If you were buying a drone now and the next drone might be 6 months away, is it worth waiting for? Probably not. You can have an awful lot of fun with this current drone for the next 6 months or next year. You're going to take some amazing pictures. You might take some amazing video. You can have a lot of fun with it before the next one comes out. And when the next one comes out, you're only a year away probably from the one beyond that. So don't wait, you know, unless it's very soon, don't wait. There's always going to be something better around the corner, and that's life, I'm afraid. So don't do it. When I was buying my drone, this is actually the thing that I really kind of struggled with. If you've searched for drones, I pretty much guarantee you've seen one of these ads. You've probably seen the ad showing the Mavic 2 Pro, and it shows you unfolding this thing, taking some amazing pictures. The video they'll show you is from a really very expensive drone, and they'll tell you that this drone is only £50. It'll come from China, it'll have all these amazing features, and when it arrives, it'll be complete rubbish. You might have seen about the story of the insider, the drone insider, who worked for the big company in drones, and they got disillusioned because they were profiteering and they left to set up their own business, and now they can sell you a drone with all the features for a fraction of the cost. Again, complete rubbish. They might have been at the front of the video, they might be at the end of the video. Don't trust them because it's all fake, it's all a scam, and you'll get a drone that's lucky to take off and land, it'll fly away, it'll crash, and there you go, you're £50 or £100 or £150, because some of these are not that cheap. It's just really not worth it, so don't do it. Luckily I didn't, but you see people all the time who've bought a drone expecting much more than actually will deliver, so don't do it. If you found this video useful, I'd really appreciate if you hit the thumbs up button. Would be really cool. Like I say, I do videos about drones, about where you can use them in more places, all that kind of stuff. And if you hit the subscribe button, I'll be so chuffed. That'd be amazing for me. And I might leave you with a bit of random drone footage now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.